Hey guys, welcome back to the Rockford Ordnance. I'm Chris, your host, and I got up today and it felt like a Russian day. So we brought out the Vepr. To be specific, our Vepr-fm side folder. Guys, everybody will tell you, these are the Cadillac of AKs. Side folder's awesome. We got a Russian Bakelite grip on it and a Bakelite mag. And we're going to have a little fun. We're going to tell you all about it and kind of catch up some of you guys that might not know a lot about these. And we'll go through it. It's a shame they're not available anymore, but they're still out there. You can find them if you look hard enough. Come on, let's go check it out. Hey guys, we're back at the shop here, and I wanted to go through this rifle. Why? Because, well, we visited this before a few years ago when they were still available, but it's just one of my favorites, so had to include it in my favorite AK videos. Some of you guys forgot about that series. I did a couple, backed off on them, I don't know why, whatever reason, but figured why not finish it out. And like I said, I got up that morning and it just felt like a Vepr day. So I grabbed my favorite, the Vepr side folder, and we headed out to the range. But before we do, for those of you that may not know or just want a refresher, figured I'd go through it with you. So these guns came out around 2017. The fixed stock was already out, and then the folder came out. And there were a couple of new things about it other than the folder, but at the time the fixed stock were going around $1,000 and the folder like this was about $1,200. And that was sort of upper end as far as new AKs went. I mean, $1,200 was like, holy moly, man, who would pay that? Well, good thing I did, because I look now and I see them going over $4,000. Now, why is that? Well, they were banned by import due to Russia's issues with some of the Baltic states over there, and the U.S. put some trade rules on them, one of which was Molot could no longer import weapons. So it was a crying shame. So this is effectively really the last Russian AK to come in. And if it holds true like every other ban they've ever put out there, like Chinese, all of that, you won't see any more Russian guns. So this is it. What is it essentially? Well, it's built by Molot. And if you know a little bit, Molot builds all the Russian RPKs. That's what they do. And they do it very well. They're known for high quality. There's no shortcutting, none of that. So it's got a lot of RPK features, and we'll start up front here. So when I got this gun, it had just a simple muzzle nut on it. At the time I had this night brake. We were doing some brake testing and wanted to see how it works. So I put it on there and it stayed. As far as how this works, but hey, why not, you know? So that's on there, but it would have had just a muzzle nut. It has standard front sight block. It's adjustable for elevation, and you can drift it for windage if you like, but there's a much easier way, and we'll get to that. As far as the barrel goes, it's medium heavy profile, essentially an RPK barrel just cut down. It's sort of the profile that initially drew me toward AK platform weapons, and what drew me in another sense to Yugo rifles. I always liked the feel and the heftiness and how solid a Yugo rifle was with its heavier barrel, heavier receiver, bulged trunnions, and that's essentially what you have here. So RPK profile barrel, standard gas block. We have replaced the handguard and gas tube cover with a couple things. We have the TDI arms billet handguard with M-lock. It's also got QD points. You can route wiring through there, all kinds of good stuff. This happens to be the Vepr L. That's what fits this one. They're still available from TDI arms. And we put a Kyber Customs cheese grater on here. Why? Well, Not so sure it lightened it up all that much, but just feels nice. We can add a few things with the M-locks on it, and gives you a QD point up here too. So it modernizes things a little bit. And the cheese grater, well, just looks cool. Let me show you what came on it normally. And there's no big deal. I actually love the look of the standard furniture. It's polymer RPK handguard and gas tube cover, and they look really good on there. It was just something to do, and I change them back and forth. It does have a steel heat shield in there, and these work really well. The big difference in fitting handguards to this is the bulge trunnion, number one, thicker receiver, and the large profile barrel, the thick profile barrel. So you can't take like a AKM handguard and make it fit unless you hogged it out, and what's the point? However, wood RPK handguards will fit just fine, and we've done that on our fixed stock. That maybe we'll bring you another video on as well. Anyhow, yeah, and under the handguard, by the way, the barrel gets nice and thick under there. You do have your standard sling point here on the front retainer. And let's go to the sight. So sight block, you do have an RPK style sight here that comes standard. What that does for you is not only can you adjust your elevation like any normal AK sight, and this one's 1,000 meters, but you can also adjust windage with the turn of a knob, so you don't have to drift your front sight, which is really, really nice. Now, here's where we get into what, in my opinion, makes this rifle feel so good. And some people complain, they say, well, it's so heavy, this and that. Well, I'll just say that for the majority of us, about the furthest you're going to lug this thing is from the trunk to the bench, right? So, hey guys, why complain? But if you are using it, you know, in training or for anything serious, the few extra ounces to me just feels better. The rifle feels steadier. I can certainly shoot this rifle better from a standing position. It just settles nicely. I just like it. For the few extra ounces, not a big deal. So we do have a bulge trunnion. Most of you guys know what that is, but for those of you that don't, that's this little area right here that sticks out from the receiver. A normal non-bulge trunnion, the side of the receiver will just be flat. But on any bulge trunnion gun, you have this bump out here. And that's because the forged part inside that the barrel comes into, chambers housed in, all of that, is beefed up a little bit. And the reason they beefed it up originally on this was because it's an RPK, which would be like a squad automatic weapon, right? So they wanted it to hold up a little better, be able to take that beating, right? Maybe dissipate heat a little better, that type of thing. That being said, it's also thicker. Instead of a standard 1mm thick receiver, the sheet metal on this is 1.5 millimeters. So not quite as tinny. I always use the example of a wasser. So, you know, if you're LARPing around the house or whatever and you rack a wasser, it just sounds a little tinny, and these sound so solid. Let's take this out. We're just got a Russian Bakelite Tula mag in here. Just looks good, looks old school on it, but just so solid and so smooth. I will put this up against any one of my SAM rifles as far as smoothness goes. And I've got, well, it's just an opinion of mine or something I've observed over the years. All the variants of rifles out there, I don't care what country they come from or what variant you have, it just seems to me that whenever I pick up a Russian gun, whether it be an SGL or a Vepr or whatever, for whatever reason, they just seem so smooth. There's no hang-ups. It's like, you know, the rails meet the trunnions perfect. This gun doesn't have a ton of rounds through it, and it's so smooth. That's all I can say. What's cool about this, forged forged bolt carrier, just like everything else Molot does. Super nice. Cut out for a double stack mag, obviously. Standard safety. We talked about the thicker receiver, but you also get a little thicker dust cover as well. Really, again, just solid. No wobble in this dust cover whatsoever. Comes standard with a side rail for mounting a scope or some other optic. However, let me warn you that you can't take just a standard side mount. Just about any other AKM will take the same rail. Yugo is an exception. Well, this is an exception. Because of the side folder and this hinge here, you can't get a side mount low enough to slide over this. RS Regulate makes one that will fit it, and it's specific to the Vepr side folder. The only other company that makes one is Arsenal. They make one that will fit this as well. Anything else you won't be able to get on there. And that's kind of a bummer. Since I got this rifle 4 or 5 years ago, I keep meaning to get my hands on one, and I just haven't come across one. RS Regulate's been sold out, or couldn't find the Arsenal one, or what have you. Or bad timing when I did find one, what have you. But I would love to be able to put optics on it and check it out. But I'll tell you what, with these iron sights, another thing is you get a much finer front post. It's not as thick as a standard AKM front post, and the notch in the sight is thinner, so you get more accuracy out of these irons than you would standard AKM irons. Guys, if you like this video, please click right down here and subscribe. It really helps. Also, click the like button, and if you're going to subscribe, make sure you click the bell, because then you'll get notifications whenever we come out with a cool AK video like this. Also, please leave a comment. It helps with the algorithm tremendously. We would appreciate it. Anyhow, getting back to the rifle. So this rifle came with, back then in 17, what was the new Arsenal trigger, and it worked great. It was much better than the previous version, and worked just fine. Came with a standard made in the USA polymer grip, but we put on this beautiful Russian Bakelite grip. Just thought it added a little class to what is truly the Cadillac of AKs. So what was new with this? Well, side folder. It's tubular steel, and it's got this adjustable cheek piece. You can adjust it for a left-handed shooter or a right-handed shooter. You can put it up so you can raise your cheek for an optic or what have you. It's got a rubber butt pad here, which is part of this polymer tail here, but it folds real easy. There is a little button here, and you want to fold this out of the way and then just push the button. It folds real easy and then locks in place, and it's locked. It's not going anywhere. You have a sling swivel here that when it's folded, it's on your body side. When it's open, it's on the outward side, and I like carrying my rifles like that because the sling then holds it to my body, right? To fold it back, oh, by the way, you can fire the weapon in this configuration. You can get to the safety. You can do all those things, and works out nicely. To fold it, there's this little button right here, and you just slide it over to the side, to the left, and open it up, and boom. And there's zero movement in the stock, zero. These things were meant to be super heavy duty. It's the same stock that comes on the folding Vepr 12 and that they put on their RPKs. Like I said at the beginning, this is truly an RPK. It's just cut down, right? You've got the same receiver, same bulge trunnions, same heavy top cover, same stock, same barrel profile, everything. The only drawback in my eye, and it's purely cosmetic, is there's nowhere to put a cleaning rod because there's no notch in the front sight block to hold it, and there's no ring here. The front handguard is set up for one, but I always thought it would be cool to have one of my buddies in the industry make a little cleaning rod holder that screwed in here. I could thread that and just catch a couple threads, Loctite it in, and maybe something we could mount up front here too to hold it. I don't know. It would be rather easy, but it would give it that 8K profile. Somehow without that cleaning rod, it changes the profile and the look. But again, it's signature Vepr, and when you see that and that thick barrel sticking out, hey, Cadillac of 8Ks, right? Just love this gun. We've got, I don't know what the round count is, but let's say it's probably, I don't know, less than 1,000. But between the two Veprs, I kind of split it up, and it's always a good day when I take one of these out. Got a couple other videos on it. We compared kind of the Cadillac of AKs to an entry-level AK like the Wasser. So we did Vepr versus Wasser. Kind of interesting, right? Both great rifles, just one a little slicker than the other, let's say. Also did a comparison between this and the fixed stock, and we were out shooting them in the pouring rain and in the mud, and we had a great time and showed you what these babies can do. Extremely accurate, both the fixed stock and this. And we will bring you a video on the fixed stock as well. Not much difference, but it is cool. The actual model on this is a Vepr-fm, let me think about this, FM 4731, I believe. Don't mark, if I'm wrong, I'll put it down here. Anyhow, boy, it just sure is a sweet gun. We had it out at the range. We got some footage here. I'm going to throw in some other footage throughout because I screwed up and didn't get all the video. It didn't save to the card for some reason. But you got a little bit of us shooting today and a little on some previous shoots, but sure is a great gun. Any of your standard mags will fit. We run Bakelites, we run Circle 10 waffle mags, you name it. I've even run Romanian mags, bolt hold opens, Yugos, anything. It all works. But I thought it's got a great look between the Bakelite and the folder. Oh, the cheese grater. And I love these TDI arms handguards. They just feel so good and solid. They stay cool. They really don't get too hot too. I've tried to burn them down, and never has it gotten maybe a hair on the uncomfortable side at the top end at the very most. But you've got a lot of metal here to dissipate heat. The only thing is that it takes a while to heat them up, but they hold the heat a long time too. So when you're done firing away, it takes a while for that heat to dissipate. But everything from the feel of the gun to the way it shoots, the way it loads, the way the bolt racks, everything is just great on these. One of the other things I like is the recoil spring has an RPK style telescoping rod in it as opposed to the loop spring. So that even helps a little bit with the smoothness of it. But these things, like I said, are, well, no longer available on the primary market due to the import ban, right? Some people think that, oh, the rifle's been banned. No, it's not the rifle that's been banned. It's an import ban. So, you know, they're still out there. They're probably available in other countries, just not here. And like anything else, like with China, they're not coming back. Once they ban them, guys, they're gone. So It's unfortunate. It's also unfortunate what that band has done to prices. Like I said, I've seen them up over $4,000. And it's a shame because it kind of takes them completely out, right? Because now guys that have them go, ooh, wait, that's worth a lot of money. Maybe I'll put it back in the safe and shoot something else. Well, not here. While I might slow it down a little bit, I love shooting them, and let's face it, I'm never gonna sell them. They'll maybe go away when I'm gone, whatever my wife decides to do, but I'm gonna enjoy them. That's what they're there for. If you've never shot a Russian AK pattern rifle, or maybe you've shot SGL but never a Vepr, you need to shoot one. If you ever get the opportunity, take it and shoot it. You will truly enjoy it. That being said, you will just see the smoothness in this rifle. And I know a lot of guys with SAMs are gonna be like, oh, my SAM, my milled gun, my this. I'm telling you guys, I own them all. I'm not trying to diss anybody's rifle. I own a ton of SAMs, but these things, it's just something about it. Maybe it's me, but I just feel anytime I pick up a Russian rifle, they're just smoother than all the rest. They're the original. Maybe they do something different. I don't know, but just a great rifle. When I bought it, it came with the oil bottle, a cleaning kit. I think it did come with a cleaning rod, just no place to put it. And what else? There was, I believe, a Bulgarian style sling with it, not a Russian. So all these years I've never gotten a Russian sling for it. I'm gonna have to get one for it. But yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, please ask down in the comments. If you have one and love to shoot it, tell us about it. Tell us what you've done with it and what you think of it. Maybe you're not shooting it anymore. Maybe you put it back in the box it came in and put it away for a rainy day. Or maybe you sold it because prices are what they are right now. If you want one, they pop up. They're all over some of the sites, you know. But you are gonna pay up, I promise you that. Is it worth it? Definitely worth what I paid for it. Would I repay it again? If I didn't know what I was getting, probably not. Knowing how good this is, I'd still have a hard time paying that kind of money. Guys, essentially, I couldn't afford to rebuy my collection today because it's just went crazy. Who would have thought this was a poor man's hobby back in the day, right? Just a short time ago. But yeah, that's it. We're including this in our top 5 favorites. So that leaves us maybe 1 to go, maybe 2. And then we're gonna run a little contest and give something away to whoever can guess my favorite. So this is one of them. So check it out, keep track, watch the other videos of my favorites so you can come up with an idea, and when we're done you'll be able to answer and maybe win something. So that'll be cool. Anyhow, we're going to take this out for another range day because I frankly didn't get enough shooting with it. That's for sure. But you'll see it soon, I promise. Guys, thanks so much for coming with us today and checking out this cool Vepr. We had a blast. It's so much fun just shooting it with irons and this bulge trunnion and receiver. It's just so solid. Love this thing. I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and hey, maybe it'll inspire one of you to go out and grab one. If you can find one, grab it. They're super, super nice weapons. Thanks for showing up. Please check out our Instagram, check out our Facebook, check out our website, rockfordordnance.com, and come with us on Tuesday nights right here on the Rockford Ordnance channel. 8 o'clock Central Time, we do coffee and Kalashnikovs. There's a chat, a live chat, so you guys can ask questions, all kinds of stuff. And it's all about you guys. You guys make the entire live stream. So we talk about what you want to talk about. We answer your questions, all that good stuff. Come check it out, 8 o'clock Central, Rockford Ordnance channel. Be here, and as always, Rockford Ordnance out.